Hi there, Robin Randolph here, and welcome to the Rest and Regenerate mini course. All right, before we get cracking here, I just want to say you might want to get out a pen and paper because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to take notes. Also, be sure to stick around all the way to the end, and I'm going to show you how you can get a free copy of my book called Pure 5-2 Transformation in 21 Days, The Complete Guide to Healthy Intermittent Fasting. In this mini course, I'm going to show you how to unlock your body's natural ability to lose unwanted weight without blood sugar crashes, relentless cravings, or feeling deprived. I'm also going to show you how you can make the ultimate shift from being stuck, struggling to lose weight, uncertain about what you are doing, lacking discipline and motivation, over to being clear and confident as to how to transform your relationship and results with food and what steps to take to get started right away. You are in the right place if you are a woman who has slow to go, stuck, or unwanted belly fat weight, and this will be especially helpful for those who are post-menopause. Or if you have autoimmune issues or inflammation issues, or if you want to learn to use intermittent fasting properly, along with learning how to use specific foods as medicine, so using anti-inflammation foods to help balance blood sugar, balance hormones. If you want to get set free from toxic and addictive eating, or if you want to learn to use intermittent fasting and pure eating as an ongoing pure healthy way lifestyle, any of those reasons, you are totally in the right place. You're also in the right place if you are vegan, a paleo, a keto eater, doesn't matter. But what matters is particularly you're in the right place if you are feeling stuck or frustrated, tired of trying to piece together a plan for yourself, or you feel like giving up because why try one more time because you've tried so many other things and nothing's really worked. Whatever your motivation for showing up here today, I fully support you. There is a secret how to unlock your body's natural ability to lose weight. Not everything I'm going to share here today might apply to you. However, I'm very confident that you're going to hear something very key that's going to help you get unstuck. So, after 23 years of coaching women, if I had to sum up what two words would best describe what creates success for the women I coach, those two words would be rest and regenerate. Although I mainly coach women, if you're a man and you're listening to this, a lot of this is going to apply to you as well, and you are so welcome to participate here. Before we dive into the content of this webinar, I'd like to briefly introduce myself to those of you who don't already know me. I am the author of 2 books. My most recent book, which I co-authored with my husband Jeff, is Pure 5-2 Transformation in 21 Days, The Complete Guide to Healthy Intermittent Fasting. My first book, titled Rawsome Recipes, was published in 2005 by Young Living Essential Oils. Because I know you're eager to get down to the information, I'll just give you a very abbreviated version. I grew up with a big daddy, I'm talking whopping big, 350 pounds big. You want to talk about belly fat? That's my dad packing around his belly fat. As for me, by the time I was 10, I was already receiving Demerol injections to combat the debilitating migraines I was suffering. I was constantly sick with all kinds of immune issues. By the time I was 18, I was addicted to nasal spray and nicotine. Here I am at age 33. I was constantly on yo-yo diets, and I was not happy with my weight, and in this picture I thought I was fat. So at age 33 I went from this over to age 39 looking like this. I had now become insulin resistant, and I was heading down the same path as my dad led me. My immune system had become so extremely sensitive that a year later I got poisoned by the off-gassing molecules of oil-based paint. I was taken to the hospital by ambulance, spent 6 hours on IV, and sent home with a fistful of pills. At times, people had to feed me, and I couldn't even open my eyes. For months, I could barely make it through each day, each hour, each minute. Through extensive research and trial and error, I taught myself how to use food as medicine to recover. The people who were there helping me and feeding me when I was so ill saw my recovery and wanted to know what I was doing, and they asked if they could come and learn from me. And this formed the basis of the book I eventually wrote, Rawsome Recipes. Over the past 22 years, I have taught thousands of people, both in the USA and the UK, how to use food as medicine for wellness and weight loss. Okay, I want to fast forward to this picture right here. This is a picture of me celebrating my 61st birthday with my daughter. And at the time, you can see, I had gained a bunch of unwanted stuck weight, and particularly belly fat weight. I had pretty severe chronic inflammation in my hip. And what I discovered was that as we gain weight, sometimes fat cells will expand beyond their capacity while trying to do their job, storing our extra calories as fat. When this happens, they turn on and add to the inflammation already present in our bodies. At this point, these cells aren't just fat storage warehouses. They're like little inflammation factories sending out signals to activate the immune system. So losing weight allows the fat cells to shrink back to a more normal size and turns off the signals that trigger chronic inflammation. A study from the UK published in 2008 shows that chronic inflammation is linked to weight gain. Researchers followed people over 9 years and monitored things like their weight gain and blood levels of C-reactive protein, a chemical that shows up when the immune system is activated. And they found something interesting. Weight increases were associated with more inflammation, and the relationship was linear. And what this means is that as a person's weight increased, so did the level of the CRP in the blood, or the C-reactive protein. This relationship between weight and inflammation suggests losing weight should help, and some studies prove this. After extensive research and much consideration, I put together a regime for myself using very specific foods as medicine, and my aim was to reduce the inflammation. Little did I know that I would go from this over to this in only 7 days. Initially, I had created this regime to help my inflammation. But you can imagine how delighted I was when this is what happened in only 7 days. I knew right away that I needed to share what I had learned with other women, particularly those who are post-menopause, those with slow-to-go or stuck weight, or those who are suffering from inflammation or autoimmune issues. The number one reason why people do intermittent fasting is for the weight loss benefits. But a lot of people don't even know all the amazing other benefits that come from doing intermittent fasting properly. Regulating insulin levels is just one of many benefits from intermittent fasting. Not only do blood levels of insulin drop significantly, which facilitates fat burning, but there are countless diabetics and pre-diabetics and people with hypoglycemia who have greatly improved their symptoms and their quality of life by practicing daily intermittent fasting. Additionally, blood levels of human growth hormone may increase as much as 5-fold, which facilitates fat burning and muscle gain as well. Science has also shown that intermittent fasting creates beneficial changes in several genes and molecules related to longevity and protection against certain diseases, like cancer and diabetes, for example. The other thing that creates great success with the people I coach is creating the mind-body connection. So this means understanding what you're doing and why you're doing it. So the more your mind learns all about the science and the art of intermittent fasting and proper nutrition, the more your body will respond. And it's uncanny to see the difference with those who take the time to learn this information versus those who just want to hurry through the whole process.
So the very first place I start with all of my coaching clients and my online course members is to ask everybody to stop and think about what is your intention. So I'm going to ask you to do the very same thing right now. As you're listening to all this information, keep in the back of your mind and ask yourself, what is my intention? Why am I here? What am I trying to accomplish and achieve? So intention statements are very much like if you are going on a journey and you have a clear destination where you want to land, you need a clear roadmap to take you there. And the clearer the roadmap is, the quicker you're going to get there. If you don't have a good roadmap, you can easily get sidetracked or get off track or get lost, and it will take you doubly as long to get there. And what I notice with people who have clear intention statements is that they seem to just naturally draw to them the information that they seek and that will take them to that destination. It's uncanny how much quicker and more successful my coaching clients are that take the time to write a clear intention statement versus the ones who want to skip that and just hurry on to just quickly trying to lose that weight. People get so frantic about trying to lose the weight that they skip steps that actually will save them time and effort in the long run. So that's the number one place. Just keep thinking about what is my intention.
Earlier, I mentioned that if I had to summarize the 2 keys to success for the people I coach, I would use the words rest and regenerate. When I say resting, I am talking about intermittent fasting. Typically, when you abstain from eating food for approximately 16 hours or more, you give your body a rest from the metabolic and digestive processes of burning carbs for fuel over to burning fat for fuel, as well as entering into a unique process known as autophagy. In order for your body to let go of unwanted weight, first and foremost, your body needs to be cleansed. And intermittent fasting is a fantastic way to give your body some downtime and allow your body to go into what's known as autophagy, which is your body's natural ability to clean up the debris and eliminate it out of your body, to pull the toxins out of the cells, to clean that up, to eat that up, and remove it from your body.
Now, I know you're here because you're interested in intermittent fasting, and typically women come to either my Facebook page or my Instagram page because you want to learn how to use intermittent fasting properly for weight loss. But I want to encourage you to expand the possibilities with intermittent fasting, particularly in the times that we're in right now with the coronavirus. Intermittent fasting is a skill that I believe everybody should be practicing because intermittent fasting is a great way to build up immune health, build up gut health, learn to balance blood sugar properly, and also to help with hormone balancing as well. So it's a really important skill to have and a really good time for you to be jumping in and learning to do it properly.
It's kind of like recycling and cleaning at the same time, or like hitting a reset button to your body. When the body is low on sugar through fasting or ketosis, this kicks on the survival repairing mode of autophagy. So a keto diet high in fat and low in carbs can bring the same metabolic benefits as fasting without fasting. However, the keto diet is based on 75% of daily calories coming from fat, with only 5 to 10% coming from carbs. This can be an issue for some people, so not everybody can do a keto diet. It can be hard on the liver and the gallbladder, and it's hard to sustain.
Okay, so I want to ask you, what do you think is the number one reason why 80% of women over 40 have slow to go or stuck weight? What do you think that is?
Okay, so now I'm going to share a huge secret that most women I coach have no clue about. This isn't true for everyone, but I will say that clogged bile halts weight loss for about 80% of the women I coach who are over 40. Clogged bile, you ask? Well, good question. Let me explain. There are several reasons your muffin top could be slow to go no matter how hard you try. The usual reasoning is, quote unquote, my metabolism has slowed down now that I am postmenopause. So for some women, there is a thyroid-related issue and is a valid concern. However, for the majority of the women I coach, the problem comes down to estrogen dominance and sludgy bile. Some women could possibly have some thyroid-related issues, but more typically what I see is estrogen dominance or sludgy bile issues. You can see how just doing kind of generic dieting is not enough when it comes to the fact that we are all unique. So when I created the regime for myself, I kept all of these issues in mind, and I also now incorporate all of this into my programs. If you do any of my online courses, you will notice that I create recipes with sulforaphane and foods from the brassica family to specifically address the weight gain that comes from estrogen dominance. So with sludgy bile, there are about 10 specific foods I focus in on and use as ingredients in the recipes I create. Let's talk about this bile situation. So bile is the digestive liquid that breaks down dietary fat in our body. And according to one of my favorite nutrition experts, Dr. Ann Louise Gittleman, she says bile acts to dissolve and digest fats, similar to how dish soap emulsifies fats on a dirty dish. So bile acts on fats so that they can dissolve in liquid and be more easily absorbed. So here's the deal. When bile is unable to function properly, you can't digest and absorb the nutrients that are crucial for a healthy metabolism. When toxins cannot be properly eliminated, they get stored in fat cells. And animal studies confirm that obese mice produce half as much bile as slender ones. So bile's secondary and very necessary function is toxin removal. Without the ability to properly cleanse the body of toxins, weight loss attempts will not be effective. As bile travels through the body, it acts as a sweep and it rounds up the toxins so that they can be removed in the stool. Beginning in perimenopause, some women begin to experience estrogen dominance, and this means estrogen levels are high compared to other hormones. This can even happen post-menopause. So let me just tell you some symptoms of estrogen dominance: breast tenderness, irritability, depression, cravings for chocolate, weeping in emotional state, cystic acne, weight in the hips and thighs and a pooch in the stomach, low libido, fibroids, cancer, and endometriosis. So when there is estrogen dominance and the body tries to eliminate the excess, the bile becomes thick with estrogen. This adds to slow-moving bile. So typically, weight gain in the belly points to estrogen dominance. Another sign of estrogen dominance is swelling from trapped fluid, and it takes the form of puffiness or bloat. With the pileup of pounds comes sludge. So don't despair. Help from nature is on its way. Once the bile flow is corrected, your body can break down and remove the excess estrogen. And the best foods to help with this, to get the bile flowing again, happens to be bitter flavored foods. So when I create my online programs and courses, and particularly the regime that I created for myself that's now an online course known as the Royal Flush Reboot, as well as in my more advanced course known as the Rest and Regenerate Reboot, I particularly pick specific foods to act in specific ways for their benefits and their outcomes. And I use the bitter greens, specific ones, for this very reason, to help with the bile. More and more women I'm meeting these days suffer from hypothyroidism, where their body underproduces thyroid hormone. So typical symptoms include depression, brain fog, forgetfulness, fatigue, muscle cramps, cold intolerance, hair loss, and weight gain. Not a pretty sight. Once again, it may be due to sluggish bile. As mentioned earlier, one of bile's jobs is to break down dietary fats, which are then needed to produce active thyroid hormone. You can see how the dominoes effect happens and how this creates a breakdown in normal thyroid functioning. When bile is functioning properly, it triggers an increase in the production of an enzyme that converts inactive thyroid hormone into active thyroid hormone.
So if you want your body to be a fat-burning machine, you can't do it without active thyroid hormone.
Without enough active thyroid hormone, weight loss stagnates. Once your body has free-flowing bile, it is better able to break down fats that improve thyroid function. We achieve some of this in the Royal Flush Reboot by using specific foods for specific synergistic benefits. And in my more advanced course, I teach how specific foods and recipes encourage the free flow of bile. And this piece of information is a huge factor in how to get slow to go or stuck weight to move.
So as we age, the liver may not be able to perform as efficiently and effectively as it once did. So you want to do as many things as you can to really help to restore and regenerate the liver. Did you know that the liver is the only organ in the body that can actually regenerate itself? So one of the things you can start doing just right away, even before you do a reboot or a cleanse, so you can start even prepping, this is like your next step, is to start going throughout parts of your life and eliminating things that are toxic. So for example, get rid of laundry detergents and dryer sheets that are scented, or stop using perfumes or colognes or shampoos with artificial scents in them. If you can't eat your deodorant, your lotions, and your shampoo, then you really shouldn't be using them. All of the ingredients in these things will penetrate into your skin and eventually get filtered through your liver. So you can just start cleaning up your home environment, your cleaning products. Just make everything that is around you non-toxic. Because remember, all of that is going to affect your liver. And all of those toxins that go into our body get stored in our body. And this is another hidden reason for slow to go or stuck weight. Another surprise hidden place where toxins hang out is in our cookware. So I'm not going to go into too much of that right now, but my very favorite cookware on the planet is Salad Master. It's made of surgical steel and titanium, and it does not have any toxic metals. So many of people's pots and pans at home, even the ones that you think are really great, like stainless steel, they're filled with all kinds of toxic chemicals. I am a Salad Master lover, an affiliate, a distributor of those products, so you can always talk to me about that. So just to recap, things you can do to help your liver right away. You can switch up your laundry soaps, perfumes, and colognes. You can upgrade your personal care products. You can switch out your cookware. You can use some herbs to help with your liver, such as garlic or turmeric or milk thistle. You can start incorporating foods that are beneficial to your liver, such as bitter foods, fruits, and vegetables, and stay away from toxic foods like fried foods and junk foods, and increase your water intake. That's a really good thing to be doing for your liver.
For some women, using very specific bitter greens is a game changer. Now, it's always a good idea to pay attention to using specific foods that will help to cleanse the liver. And here are my top 10 favorite foods for just general cleansing of the liver. Another secret to success is paying attention to nourishing your body properly. It's not enough just to do intermittent fasting. I'm always stunned when I find women who are doing intermittent fasting, and then when they're eating whatever they want, and they're eating toxic foods, and they're eating non-organic foods, or foods that are GMO foods, or foods that are being sprayed heavily, and they can't figure out why they're not losing weight because they're fasting. But you have to have these factors to make it work. You have to cleanse, nourish, and balance the body properly. And if you don't do any one of these three things properly, this could be the very reason you're having stalled weight. There are two other aspects I want to touch on in terms of nourishment. One is learning to use nutrient-dense foods that are also anti-inflammatory foods, which of course means cutting out all of the bad fats and fast foods and processed foods which tend to inflame our guts. And while we're on the topic of gut health, and to complete our discussion about how important it is to nourish ourselves well, I want to just share with you another huge piece of the weight loss puzzle piece for women with slow to go or stuck weight, and that is focusing on balancing the good gut bacteria. Now, this for some people is the secret piece that has been missing, and a lot of people talk about probiotics, and of course we know how important that is. Not a lot of people know about prebiotics, and the thing with prebiotics is think of them as fertilizer for the probiotics. Without using specific prebiotic foods to help fertilize the probiotics will not thrive. And of all things that I notice with women when they actually straighten out the usage of including prebiotics is this also contributes to stopping a lot of the cravings that tend to derail women. We've talked about how valuable it is to practice intermittent fasting. However, a lot of people don't know how to do that properly without sacrificing their blood sugar balance. And just a quick disclaimer here, I'm obviously not a doctor, and if you have diabetes or serious blood sugar issues, be sure to work with your doctor on this. However, what I do know, especially from my own experiences being extremely hypoglycemic in the past and healing that, without your blood sugar being balanced, this is the primary reason why a lot of people have slow to go or stuck weight. When your body and your metabolism is all over the board and your blood sugar is up and down and up and down, your body will hang on to weight. So a very key factor is learning how to do intermittent fasting and at the same time keeping your blood sugar balanced. So it's more important to stop your fast and attend to your blood sugar balance than it is to try to muscle through a blood sugar crash just to try to beat the clock and have a longer extended intermittent fasting time. Often women are afraid to even attempt intermittent fasting because they suffer with hypoglycemia, like I once did. However, when you learn to switch over from burning carbs for fuel over to burning fat for fuel, and when you learn to pace yourself properly and making that transition, learning how to do intermittent fasting properly, you will actually heal your hypoglycemia by eating less and practicing fasting. So this is an incredible tool to building a healthy ongoing lifestyle and learning how to get your blood sugar balanced properly and to prevent diabetes. Additionally, by learning to use food as medicine, not only can you balance your blood sugar properly, but also critically you can balance your hormones and your gut bacteria. These three areas absolutely need to be balanced in order to find success.
So I would definitely say the number one mistake that I see people making when they're new to intermittent fasting is not pacing themselves properly. And this will create blood sugar crashes like I've talked about and sabotage weight loss success. So I'd like right now to go over some of the other key areas where I see people making common mistakes, and whether you're new to intermittent fasting or you've tried it before and maybe haven't been completely successful, let's go over some of these things I see and make sure that you avoid making these mistakes. The next thing I see is people jumping in too hard and too fast. So again, this kind of goes along with what I was saying about pacing yourself. I want to say, if you're coming in off of eating a high carb diet, you don't want to just go straight cold turkey into a 16-hour fast. You just want to slowly start increasing your fasting window, and there's very specific ways you can do that, and I teach people how to do that in my courses or when I work one-on-one with people. But this is something that people often just miss, this very important part of using foods that are high nutrient dense, fiber foods, certain foods that can help keep your blood sugar balanced and even as you're pacing along. Okay, another thing is that people tend not to drink enough water. That's very important. And also not getting enough electrolytes. And this is why I suggest drinking coconut water or putting a little bit of Himalayan salt or Celtic salt into your water. This will help your body to retain the hydration and also give your body some of the extra necessary minerals that will help in your overall fasting process. Another thing that people do is they tend to try to restrict their calories and bring their old diet thinking into the whole mix. So forget about all that calorie counting. What you want to focus in on is eating foods that are going to really nourish you well and nourish your gut well and help to completely satiate you so that you can learn how to eat proper foods specifically that are going to nourish you to the point where you can heal the ghrelin and the leptin hormones. Those are the hormones that tell you when you're hungry and tell you when you're full. And so this is something that people kind of jump over and try to bypass or don't even know about when they're trying to dive too quickly into intermittent fasting. So getting the proper nutrition and getting the proper amount of food when you break your fast. So sometimes people try to break a fast by eating a small meal because they want to kind of keep their calories low. But in the process, they aren't getting satiated or nourished enough. So if you don't eat enough at your mealtime and the right kind of nourishing foods, what's going to happen is you're going to tend to be hungry a lot, and that will create you to be hangry, so a little bit hungry and angry, and it's going to make it a miserable experience. So you want to learn to do this with using very specific foods, because when you use the right foods and you're nourished properly, you can go a lot longer because your blood sugar will be even. So how you know you are very successful at doing this properly is when you wake up in the morning and you're feeling just as alive and lively and blood sugar balanced as you are when you go to sleep at night. So you have no dips, no highs and lows, no times in the afternoon where you feel like you need to take a nap. That's what you're trying to achieve. And this is a process for most of us to get to do that properly. Another mistake people make is trying to pair intermittent fasting with eating too high of a carb diet. But people tend to swing the opposite and go too far into this whole keto thing and get too extreme with eating too many animal proteins and saturated fats and eliminating the value of some of the good carbs that come from particularly from some fruits. You need some of these carbs that are because they have a lot of the antioxidants and the phytonutrients that are very necessary in the overall picture. So this is another important piece, as well as people tend to eat too many cooked foods and eliminate the raw foods. When you cook foods past 118 degrees, you kill the enzymes. And think of it like this: the more enzymes, the more life. So you want to be sure to have a high amount of your foods on your plate, like even as much as 75% of your foods being raw as opposed to cooked. And I would rather see people focus on that rather than a high keto, high fat diet. The last thing I want to talk about that I see that inhibits good weight loss and wrecks good intermittent fasting results is stress, of course, and not getting enough sleep. These two things can switch on cortisol, and this will definitely contribute to belly fat weight. So I hope these suggestions are things that you will think about and prevent yourself from making the mistakes that sometimes people often make when they're new to intermittent fasting.
When I created the regime for myself that is now the Royal Flush Reboot, I thought through all of these different elements very carefully that I have just shared with you. And using my years of experience as a pure healthy chef, I picked very specific foods for their benefits as food as medicine, and I combined that along with anti-inflammation eating and intermittent fasting to get rapid results. Like many women who start the reboot, Hannah was super frustrated because she had just been putting on the pounds, and everything she tried seemed to just land her back to the same place where her weight was just stuck and the scale wouldn't move. Hannah and her husband John decided to try the reboot together, and they were delighted to find how much they really liked it. In fact, they didn't want it to end. So they kept doing it for 3 weeks, and this is what she posted. 3-week check-in. All I can say is, wow, I stepped on the scale today and had lost 19 pounds, and my husband had lost 13 pounds since we started the Royal Flush Reboot. Woo-hoo! Not to mention, I have the energy back that I once had. My closet is open to many more choices now as well. We are feeling so good with no aches and pains, and we can't stop. It literally has helped us change our eating habits and is now a lifestyle. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure a couple weeks ago as my doctors wanted me to go on medication. I realized I needed to make some changes, and I asked if I could do this cleanse first. Lo and behold, my blood pressure has normalized in the past few weeks with no medication. If you're feeling discouraged, don't get on a scale but once a week. So your focus is not on the scale, but rather truly on how wonderful and energetic you feel. Don't stop. Don't quit. Hold on. You can do it. Earlier, I talked about how thyroid issues impacts weight loss and health. When I began working with Kelly, she was struggling with Hashimoto's disease. This is another example of what's possible and what Kelly wanted to share from her experience. This cleanse literally changed my life and many others. Robin is so knowledgeable about how to heal the body with food. I've been suffering with autoimmune and inflammation for a couple of years now, and this cleanse helped me so much. I strongly encourage you to check it out and sign up. Whether you're struggling with weight, inflammation, chronic pain, digestive trouble, and more, take the time to check this out. You'll be so thankful you did. Let me ask you this question. What would you be and do differently in your life if you achieved your health and weight loss goals? What I set out to do was to help myself with my inflammation. And my research over all these years has taught me how to use specific foods for specific outcomes. And the beautiful part is when you heal the imbalances, then the weight loss seems to be linked very closely to that. So although I can't say that there is one specific secret, I've incorporated all of these secrets into my online courses. And that's why not only did I get rapid results, but I also see it time and time again with all these different women who come with very specific different issues or components to what's keeping their weight stuck or slow to go.
Whereas the Royal Flush Reboot is a great jumpstart to weight loss, it's a great way to get the metabolism to reboot, and it's an awesome way to learn how to switch over from burning carbs to fuel over to burning fat for fuel. Many of the people who've done the Royal Flush Reboot don't want it to end when it's time to end. And also, I've gotten so many requests from women who want to learn to make this not just a 7-day cleanse, but an ongoing pure healthy way lifestyle. And so now I've created an entire package taking all of the information I've learned and all of the 23 years of working with different women and all the different issues. And also I have a passion for creating food as medicine. And I've combined that with my love of photography and my love of just making beautiful food. And I've put this all into one big online coaching course. And the entire package includes the Royal Flush Reboot, which can just be done on its own for 7 days, or it can be the precursor and lay the foundation, which is the perfect way to do this.
Followed by the next level training, which is the 21-day Rest and Regenerate Reboot. And when you put the 7-day Royal Flush Reboot together back to back with the Rest and Regenerate Reboot, I call that the Pure Healthy Way Immersion Course. This gives you the opportunity to really steep yourself in the full program, and you can always repeat any parts of this forever for free. Members tell me it's like being in a nutrition training or a cooking course and everything all rolled into one. In the Rest and Regenerate Reboot, we go a lot deeper and a lot further. In this reboot, we focus on cleansing and restoring the liver, building up gut and immune health, as well as deepening our ongoing daily practice with intermittent fasting and delicious anti-inflammation cooking for wellness and weight loss, and making sure to pace properly for correct blood sugar balance. I encourage members in this course to take pictures of their food and to get really creative. So if you love to be creative with pure food, you're going to love this course. If you want to learn how to cook healthy, you're also going to love this course. With over 100 recipes, everything is thought through carefully, from how to shop and prepare and store foods to the ingredients that are put together synergistically into marinades and sauces and salad dressings, and then foods and recipes that are created into breakfast bowls and dinner combinations, all keeping in mind ingredients that are anti-inflammatory and that build up the immune system and keep the blood sugar balanced while building up good gut bacteria. From shopping lists to daily menu planning, you are taught from the ground up how to pick the proper foods and then how to create them into recipes and then how to create those recipes into weekly menu plans. No more spending copious amounts of your time trying to figure out what is what or what foods will work or how to do it. Everything is thought out for you. With so many recipe and meal options, you get an opportunity to keep expanding your cooking repertoire. The format for this learning is all hosted on my private website. So for those of you who don't want to be on Facebook, this provides a beautiful, safe environment where you can work at your own pace but still get the benefit of having my coaching support. The Rest and Regenerate membership is an entire package put together with the combination of the Royal Flush Reboot and the Rest and Regenerate Reboot. And it includes over 30 videos that are food demonstrations and science-based and coaching videos combined, as well as ongoing membership, which means that you pay a one-time fee and you can forever come back and keep repeating the course as many times as you want to. Would you like me to teach you how to pace yourself into doing intermittent fasting properly to avoid blood sugar crashes, along with teaching you how to cook the specific foods I use to get rapid results? And would you like me to coach you through your challenges and answer your questions while you go through your 21-day Rest and Regenerate Reboot? So if you're ready to transform your relationship and results with food and you want a clear roadmap to do so, I'd like to personally invite you to become a Rest and Regenerate community member, which includes the full Pure Healthy Way immersion course of the 7-day Royal Flush Reboot, as well as the 21-day Rest and Regenerate Reboot, which is a self-paced online coaching course. The Pure Healthy Way Rest and Regenerate full immersion membership program is the only comprehensive coaching program of its kind that not only shows you step by step exactly how to do intermittent fasting properly to keep your blood sugar balanced, but also teaches you how to shop, chop, and prep anti-inflammation specific synergistic recipes created by a seasoned healthy chef and 2-time cookbook and healthy lifestyle author, using specific foods as medicine to cleanse, nourish, and balance your body so you can achieve rapid health and weight loss results. Let me tell you what you will receive from doing the Royal Flush Reboot. So by the end of the course, you will have nailed down your intention statement, learned how to successfully get organized, shop, prep, and create 3 specific anti-inflammation delicious, nutrient-dense meals for every day of the reboot. You will have practiced daily intermittent fasting, learning how to do it by pacing properly to keep blood sugar balanced. You will have learned exactly why you are doing what you are doing from coaching videos that explain the science as well as the practical application. And you will successfully have laid down the foundation to cleanse your body, nourish your gut, and balance your blood sugar and hormones while boosting your metabolism and immune system. Additionally, you will have learned how to burn fat for fuel instead of carbs. You will have stopped your food cravings, learned to listen to your body signals, practiced habits that will lead to balancing the hormones leptin and ghrelin, and gained confidence in knowing exactly what to do when, and you will have a program you can return to over and over again anytime you want to get back on track, need an anti-inflammation cleanse, and metabolism boost. And that's just the beginning. That's just for the 7-day Royal Flush Reboot. The Phase 2 Rest and Regenerate Reboot will show you how to take all of this and make it an ongoing Pure Healthy Way lifestyle. The course format is super easy to use. You simply access all the lessons through the Rest and Regenerate forum, posted on my private website. Begin where it says welcome and then move on to the next lesson, where you will learn all about doing assessments and how to create your intention statement in a very specific way. And then you'll move on to Phase 1 and do the Royal Flush Reboot, especially if you're new. If you're returning and have already taken the course before, you can jump right into the Rest and Regenerate Reboot. It's up to you. Simply click on the day of the reboot that you are on and you will receive your daily lesson. This format makes it really an easy way to learn a lesson a day for your reboot and breaks it down so it's not too much or too overwhelming. No hunting through emails to try to find the daily lesson. Everything is in one place, easy to go back to if you want to review the lesson. So for example, this is a peek looking into week 1 of phase 2 of the Rest and Regenerate reboot. And you can work self-paced and access the information whenever you want to, 24/7. When you scroll to the bottom of every lesson, there is an opportunity to make comments and also to ask questions. And I usually respond pretty much right away, if not within 24 hours. The entire Rest and Regenerate membership program is extremely comprehensive, including sections for balanced snacks to help keep your blood sugar balanced, delicious sweet treats, and even a section for tips for what foods to bring with you on the road and on the go. What I have and what the members of the Royal Flush Reboot have is a proven roadmap that we follow every single time we feel the need to get back on track. In fact, I'm so confident that you're going to do so well with this course that I'm offering a 14-day money-back guarantee. All you need to do is keep track of your daily logs and send them to me so I know that you actually did the work, and I will give you your money back if you are not completely satisfied. And to give you that little extra nudge and incentive to do it today so you don't put this off one more minute, I'm also going to throw in a copy of my book, Purify 2, Transformation in 21 Days. And this book will be a bonus special free goodie that I'm throwing in for all of those who live in the US. I'm sorry, but I can't throw it in if I have to ship it to places like Canada or UK. However, I want this program with the opportunity to have coaching to go along with it to be affordable for you. I want you to be able to enroll today, jump in, and get started right away accessing your course. And I know by this point you will know if this course is right for you. And I've decided to offer it for a limited time for $297. After you sign up, you'll be receiving an email which will give you login details, including a video about how to get around the site. So if you don't see an email from Pure Healthy Way, then be sure to look in your spam folder or your trash file in case it landed there. To log in, simply go to www.purehealthyway.com, and once you get there, look for the button on the menu bar on the far right that says R&R Member Forum. Click that button, and then it'll ask you for your login information, and you might need to reset your password. Clicking that button will take you right into the Rest and Regenerate forum, and then just start at the very top, at the very first lesson where it says welcome, and just go from there, reading everything one step at a time. Don't try to skip around or reinvent the wheel. Just follow the course step by step. If you would like more details or you're ready to sign up right now, go over to www.purhealthyway.com/r-reboot-membership-info. And remember, if you go over there right away, you'll get a free copy of my book, plus you're getting the special fast action mini course discount if you go sign up today. All right, thank you so much for staying all the way to the end, and I delight in getting the opportunity to be your coach. And if you have any questions, once you're a member, be sure to just post everything right on the group wall under the comment section of the day of the reboot that you're working on. Alrighty, again, thank you so much for staying all the way to the end.